Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the 2015 World Semifinals, where SKT is up 1-0 after a comeback win against Origen to start the day. And Jad, you hit it in the post game. This was one of the first times we've seen SKT really challenged in this tournament.
Yep.
But it wasn't enough. Origen still didn't come away with a win. So the question is, where do they go from here as a team when they're looking to refocus for game 2?
I think Origen just needs to continue to be creative in their draft phase and hope for a similar game they had in game 1. They were in a position where a couple team fights go a different direction and they win the game. I really like what they did in the draft phase because there are two specific subsets of champions that you can starve in the draft phase right now. Junglers and the OPs right now. So unless SKT is willing to play the same red side game that SKT did last game, they're going to get the same thing, or they're going to get one of the starved champion pools pick the litter.
And what I really liked about Origen, and we talked before, what does Origen have to do to make this a competitive match? Well, they came roaring out of the gate, much more aggressive play than we've seen before, getting those early game leads. And that's something that has not only not happened against SK Telecom, Origen has not been doing it either. So this is a really strong, I think, initial performance and might make this best of 5 much closer than I originally thought.
If you had to look at one individual on Origen to step it up this time around, who are you looking at?
I have to say amazing. I think he got caught out in some of the later team fights and was playing a bit risky as to how he was checking around vision. And he does need to do, I think, a lot more. And I'm also concerned about the low amount of pressure he put out in the early game in that last one, as well as the presence around Soaz in the top side.
Yeah, if you watch his early game, he sent both of his extremely farm-heavy paths ended up bot lane while the Tristana was pushing. I understand you have to save that lane, but this is during top lane's fiasco of he burns TP and flash. So I think they're still not understanding where he needs to be at all times, like where the most efficient pathing is for him. And then, yeah, later in the game, once they lost the vision control over Baron, was really weird. They get the first Baron, and then this is OG style that I was talking about earlier, that they're kind of getting better into like the slow kind of play that SKT is really good at. And it shows, like, they got the first Baron, that's great, but now where are the pinks around Baron? Where are the vision control around Baron? The next thing that happens is SKT just sets up camp around Baron and continually catches Origen trying to come back in.
All right, well, it's time to see if Origen can tie the series in game 2. And as we check in with the casters, Marin shares SKT's strategy for dealing with Origen's strong team coordination.
일단 부담감은 그렇게 크진 않고요. 그래도 평소에 하던 대로 하면 될 것 같고, 오지팀이 운영을 좀 잘 하는 것 같은데 라인전에서부터 스노우볼을 좀 굴려가면 운영을 하기 전에 이길 수 있을 것 같습니다.